Hey guys, my name's Key and I just want to make a quick video and speak to you about an experience of importing a car from Japan because it's a pretty daunting experience. Now, I'm not paid for this video, I simply did it myself and just wanted to share some of the experiences that I've had with it. I've also set up a Camroad Facebook group, so I'll put that in the video link below if you want to join that, if you want to import a Toyota Camroad like I did. But it was a bit of a daunting experience, firstly because you're buying something sight unseen from a country on a fair way away from here, and you basically really got to trust your agent to do a good job for you because you can't bid at a Japanese auction yourself. You need to use some type of agent who's got a license to do so. So I actually had tried to do this twice. I first used an agent, which I'm not going to mention, but like had a bit of a bad experience. The car never came through and it was a bit of a hassle. So the second time I used a company called Smile JV, and look, I was so happy with the second time I did it that I thought I'd do this video. And look, they didn't ask me to do this. I just thought I'd go out there and do it because I just felt it was such a pleasure dealing with these guys. I thought I'd do a video and give them a bit of a leg up, I suppose, and they can use this video however they like. But anyway, essentially I imported this car on the screen here. So this is called a Toyota Camroad. It's only ever made in Japan, so you kind of have to import it from Japan. It's a very compact vehicle, and as you can see, that's me with the kids there, or that's the kids rather, and then that's another shot of the other side of the van. But look, it's been a fantastic vehicle, already done a few holidays around Australia in it, and I really absolutely love this vehicle to death. It's been fantastic. But with respect to Smile JV, they do differ quite a lot from other agents, and that's really what I wanted to tell you guys about. Firstly, other agents I dealt with, they would sort of take your requirements and then go and try to look for the vehicle for you and send you photos and information. But it's a very fast process because every week in Japan all these auctions come up, and they kind of, you only really got a few days when the auction, all these photos online come up. Your agent might be a bit slow and maybe they only get those photos to you 1 or 2 days later, in which case you've only got maybe 1 day to make a decision and quickly put a bid in. And that can be frustrating. The other thing is a lot of agents tend to not be fully transparent what the auction price was. So that sort of also can be a bit dodgy. Some agents will tell you it sold for something, but then actually went for something else and then could take a margin or whatever. But with Smile JV, it was really transparent because you could log into the actual auction system that they've got set up and actually look at the various different listings and then go buy the car or put a bid on the car yourself, and they can manage that for you. So this is their new website, which I'm pretty impressed with actually. So how it works is you go into the oops, that's a CIF estimator. So this is if you want to estimate the shipping on a vehicle, which I never use this feature, I must say. I mainly was just looking at buying the cars. So I'll just go back home here. And when you go into this area here, you go into, for instance, auctions. And this is probably the area you're going to use the most. There was sort of a few other things you can look at, like yeah, inspections. They've got an inspection survey. If you want to order an inspection on a car, they can send somebody out and go look at it. But just bear in mind that it's a really short time frame. So if you order an inspection, you may only get the inspection results back like 1 or 2 days max before the auction kind of goes ahead. In which case, yeah, you just got to be quick, I suppose, and really on top of this type of stuff. But anyway, so this is the auction site here. And as you can see, let's say I wanted to search for, in my case, a Toyota. And my particular Toyota was called a Camroad. So what you can do is put in Camroad. But because I was just generally looking for camping vehicles in general, if you go to the advanced search, you can actually scroll down here. And then you can type in some categories, like I think camping is one of the categories that you can actually, oh, sorry, no, in body type. Yeah, camping was a body type, which is a specific category for those at the Japanese auctions. You also got this auction grade, which, look, I didn't find that to be super useful. I think it's sometimes better to look at the photos and then go with what your agent tells you, because there's some people who do dodgy stuff like rebirth smashed vehicles and stuff like that, and it's really hard to tell from this auction grade. Generally stuff which is this 3 stars written off or basically non-operable. Then you've got write-offs, I think it is, and stuff like that. Look, I was mainly looking at the 3.5 to 5, but even there, look, you can't trust it 100%. So yeah, maybe if you did do anything, I'd probably select the whole lot just in case that there was like a really good 3 or something like that. And then I would just search that. And as you can see, all the auctions have come up. So I can actually go on this and I can see what past sort of vehicles have sold for to get an idea of what the price is likely to be. Now, obviously, these don't include all the shipping and stuff like that on the final sale price. Some of them will go to auction and then they don't get sold, in which they still appear on the website. So you can see, how much they went up to, but then they may come up for a future auction at a following week. Look, this was a particular model which I was sort of interested in, the Camroad. So as you can see, this one's a 2009 model. So you can click on the car, you can go through, how many kilometers it's done and the engine size and all that type of information, which is pretty handy. The starting price of the auction, and then you can go through and look at some of the basic photos. And this is pretty much all that's available, because this is the service which the auction house is providing you. So usually, might get 5 or 6 photos or 7 photos, 10 photos, something like that. It's not really a great deal. If you want a lot more than this, what you've got to do is go to your agent, in this case Smile JV, and then get them to do an inspection and take more in-depth photos. They can take photos under the vehicle or stuff like that if that's what you require. But look, I found this website and this system that they have in particular to be so useful, so transparent. And then, you can put in things like a translation request just in case you don't understand this Japanese text in here. And there's also some of the other paperwork they can translate as well. You can search by model number as well. So once you know the specific type of car you're after, you can search this model number in the advanced search as well. So if I go back, I could drop that into the search. That narrows it down quite a lot. Whoops, it is really new, so you may come across the odd bug or something like that, but just let Brendan know. I'm sure they'll fix it pretty soon. Anyway, look, it's a super useful website, and a good way to keep track of stuff that you've actively bid on. Look, I'm not actively bidding on anything now, but had I bid on that Camroad just then, it would come up in my listings here, and you can keep track of the sale and stuff like that. So really transparent. Look, fantastic service, and look, I got to take my hat off to Smile JV and this new auction website. It's a big improvement on the last website, and it's just such an easy way to buy a car from Japan with a reasonable level of confidence of what you're getting. Anyway, that's it. Bye.